All right, how's it going, everybody? The reason I'm making this video is because I see a lot of guide videos about Loki and how to play him, and I completely disagree with how people have been saying you should play him. And I want to show what's been successful for me because I think that we're thinking about him wrong, right? So the first thing I want to drive home is that Loki can do some of the most damage and some of those healing in the game, but only if optimized correctly. Otherwise, he's kind of throwing. And I really want to point this out. So, for example, with just Loki, it takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 shots. Okay? It takes an absolute eternity to kill anybody. And with one clone, it takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots to kill, which is still a really long time. Okay? Now, if you have 2 clones, it takes 1, 2, 3 shots. Absolutely deleted them. And it really shows that, like, if you really want to maximize your healing and your damage and healing at the same time, you really need both clones. Okay? Here's the issue with how people are talking about how to use him. A lot of people are saying, oh, you should throw like a thing here and like a clone, like let's say like out there, and like as a trio you can fire on him and get the kill, and then if you get in trouble you can swap and you're like, wow, like now I'm at a new angle and I can kill him as well, right? That's how I see a lot of people do it. Here's the issue with that. The theory behind it is solid. Okay, the reality of it is that when you're in a game, see these walls here, this is what most points look like. Okay, where you throw, my bad, you throw like a clone here, and then like a clone like out there, and let's say you want to shoot this guy in the middle. Well, I only have 2 clones shooting, because this one's hitting a wall. Or like if I'm shooting him now, that one's missing, because this is hitting the wall. And we're really not maximizing our damage, while also being on an objective, meaning we're liable to be getting dove. So, how I think you should be playing him, and something that I kind of want to point out and show, is that Loki does not have fall-off damage, right? Whether I'm here,
may you enjoy hell.
Actually hilarious. Okay, so whether I'm here, there we go, or whether I'm way back here, off in Narnia, okay? Here. Even back here, it makes no impact of how much damage you do. And so the theory behind like, oh, let's have clones like over here and like here, and like we can shoot a guy from a distance. We'll see how only 2 of my 3 clones shot. Do you see how much less damage I'm doing because of that, right? So something I want us to like think with is I want all clones in line of sight of my target. Let's pick a hallway, let's pick a lane, an alley that we're looking to shoot at, and we're going to put a clone here, and we're going to put a clone here. And I want you to see something. I can shoot through my clones and do damage, and still 3-tap from Narnia, okay? Here's where this is really important, and here's where this is really cool. Loki's clones can take damage. They have 250 health per, right? So you can use them as a body block and let them take damage for you and proceed to still 3-tap people. Now, this is where we really are going to like theory craft here, right? This means that in theory, if you're down a hallway, okay, and you have your clone here, and I'm just going to throw my invis guy here, okay, you can essentially use these as body blocks from across the map, which means there is no way for an enemy to hit you out there because you're standing directly behind your clone, and your clone's going to be the one taking damage, not you, okay? Now, on top of this, right, you then maximize your healing, because let's say you have your guy over here and you're hitting all 3 clones on your healing, which is a ton of healing. Like, you will pump into people, and then you go, oh well, like, you're not with the team, right? Like, let's, like, you're not helping out. Like, what about your tank and stuff? Well, not only can we heal him from afar, right, but I can also still throw my clone out there and give him my little L1 at any point in time if he really is like about to die. So you can still optimize everything. It's just a different style, right? Now, let's talk about your invis button, because your invis button, I think we're using it wrong, okay? People use this L2. By the way, this L2, you can stay invisible forever. Like, you just can't get shot with it or else you lose it. And so what I see a lot of people doing is they use it reactively versus proactively. So let's say you're here, you're getting shot, people use the invis, right? And then, or they'll teleport out and then use the invis there, and like that's their teleport. The issue is that a lot of the times at higher lobbies, you're going to be getting shot at. Like your clone's going to be getting shot at. So when you teleport, you're probably going to take some splash damage, which takes you out of invis, which completely kills your ability. Let's use our invis proactively to go get ourselves in great positioning to where we won't need it to have to use it reactively. So I can invis here, and let's say the fight's over there, and I want to get a good angle. No one can see me, right? Because I'm invis. You can place your clones while invisible, and then come out of stealth, and all three of you shoot from Narnia, okay? Or heal, or whatever, right? But let's use this proactively instead of reactively. And then on top of that, let's say you get up here, you're in trouble, you go here, and then now you're like, okay, great, let's swap, let's get out. And that's your get out of jail free card, okay? Good tips. Now, let's talk about his ultimate. His ultimate allows you to swap into another character. We know this, it's great. I want us to think of this differently. See how I have a 13-second timer on this, and I can like do damage, and I can run around, and a lot of people typically use his ultimate for another's ultimate. I want you to use this with the mindset of to take over that character for 10 seconds, and notice how my timer got to 3 seconds, and then I went into the ult, and all of a sudden now I got like another 10 seconds of it because it allowed me to stay through the ult. We can optimize how long you're that other character by not immediately swapping over to their ultimate and taking out some of the animation. You can really extend it. So what I want you to think with is like, let's say the point's at 90% and you're getting close to overtime, right? And you're like, wow, like I need to somehow win this fight. You can preactively change to Hela, start doing damage as her, right? And like now you're starting to go here, you're doing your damage, and now you're like, okay, like now we're in overtime. Now we pop ultimate, I get the entire ult of Hela, and now I can beam down and do those and stay in that ultimate longer. I think that's a much better way to optimize his ultimate. So those are kind of my tips. Just a quick little summary. We need to be playing way back, way back, okay? Play with your clones, use them as body blocks. Use your invis proactively, not reactively. And then for your ultimate, make sure that you're spending a little bit longer in that character versus just immediately popping their ult, and then you have like a weird like 2-second delay and then you swap back. I think those things will give you a ton of benefit and a ton of help. And definitely try this out in your games. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.